Hey folks, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny? No, really, not just tossed it in your change jar or used it to prop up a wobbly table leg. I mean actually looked at it. Well, after watching this video, you might want to grab a magnifying glass and start checking every single one, especially the ones from 1971 with no mint mark. Because believe it or not, there's a 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny out there worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $1.6 million for a coin that most people wouldn't bend over to pick up off the sidewalk. Now before you go diving into your couch cushions or raiding your grandma's penny jar, let's break down what makes this little copper coin so insanely valuable. And don't worry, I've got a story to share too, one that involves a gas station, a greasy cheeseburger, and a penny that almost changed my life. So stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be the go-to coin guru in your circle. Let's get into it, let me explain. The no mint mark simply means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Back in the day, Philly didn't bother putting mint marks on their coins, so if you've got a penny from 1971 and there's no little letter under the date, congratulations, it's from Philly. But not every 1971 no mint mark penny is worth millions. If that were the case, we'd all be living in mansions and driving gold-plated golf carts. The $1 million 1971 penny we're talking about isn't just rare. It's got a mistake on it, a very specific kind of mistake that happened during the minting process. Most of the time, coins are pressed perfectly, nice and clean, ready to jingle in your pocket. But every now and then, something goes haywire. The dies that stamp the coins might be misaligned. The metal planchet might be off. Or, and this is the big one, the coin might be struck with the wrong kind of metal altogether. In the case of this legendary penny, it's believed to have been struck on a bronze planchet when it was supposed to be made of a different composition. You see, by the early 70s, the US Mint had been experimenting with different metals to save costs. Some coins slipped through the cracks, literally and figuratively, and ended up being made from the wrong material. The result? A few ultra-rare coins that are now considered holy grails by collectors. The 1971 no mint mark penny that sold for $1.6 million had just the right combination of error, condition, and rarity to drive collectors absolutely wild. It's like finding a first-edition comic book with a misprint signed by the artist, only this one fits in your pocket. Now let me hit you with a little personal story. I used to work nights at a gas station when I was in my 20s. It wasn't glamorous, mostly cleaning coffee spills, refilling windshield washer fluid, and dodging weird customers asking for directions to nowhere. One night, a guy came in, bought a pack of gum, and paid with exact change. I remember that clearly because I was starving and counting down the minutes to my break. That I grabbed the coins without looking, tossed them into the till, and went on with my night. A few hours later, while I was trying to stay awake by sorting the change drawer, I was that bored, I noticed this 1971 penny. No mint mark. Looked a little weird, kind of shinier than usual. But hey, it was a penny. I shrugged, slipped it into my pocket with the intention of keeping it, and then, forgot all about it. That penny probably went through the laundry, maybe into a vending machine, who knows. But every time I hear about a 1971 penny selling for over $1 million, I think about that greasy cheeseburger I bought that night. That penny could have paid for a lifetime supply of cheeseburgers, and then some. So now I check every single coin like it's a lottery ticket, and that's the beauty of coin collecting, folks. You never know when lightning's going to strike. One tiny detail, one rare feature, and boom, you're a millionaire. These rare pennies are usually heavier because they were struck on bronze planchets. If it weighs around 3.11 grams, you might have something special. If it's lighter, it's probably just a regular penny. Sorry, bronze pennies have a distinct reddish-brown tint. The more coppery it looks, the better. Collectors love coins in top condition. If your penny is all scratched up and looks like it went through a lawn mower, it's probably not making you rich. But if it's shiny, clean, and crisp, time to celebrate. If you think you've got the real deal, don't just take it to your local pawn shop. You'll want to send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give you the official seal of approval, and that's what collectors want. Now let's talk market value. That $1.6 million price tag isn't just some made-up number. That was an actual auction sale. And with coin values continuing to rise, especially for rare errors and unique historical pieces, the demand for coins like this is only getting stronger. We're talking serious collectors, museums, even investment firms getting in on the action. So yeah, your change jar could be more like a retirement fund if you've got the right coin hiding in there. So there you have it. The humble little 1971 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. A coin so ordinary that most people wouldn't think twice about it, but under the right circumstances, it could be worth $1.6 million. Now imagine walking into a gas station, buying a cheeseburger with exact change, and accidentally handing away your ticket to financial freedom. Trust me, I've lived that horror. Learn from my mistake, friends. Start checking your change. Go through your jars, your drawers, your couch cushions. Look for 1971 pennies. And don't forget to check for those signs: no mint mark, heavier weight, bronze coloring, and good condition. And hey, if you like this video and want more tips, stories, and strategies for finding coins worth real money, hit that subscribe button. Smash it like you just found $1 million penny in your pocket. And make sure you ring that bell so you don't miss out on the next big find. I'll be back with more coin hunting adventures, funny stories, and ways to turn your pocket change into serious cash. Hey folks, listen up. What if I told you that a plain old 2017 Lincoln penny you probably tossed in a jar or lost in your car seats could actually be worth $1.7 million? Yeah, I said million. That's not a typo, and no, I haven't lost my marbles. This little copper-colored coin could buy you a house, a fancy truck, and still leave you with enough money for lifetime gas and snacks. Now before you go flipping your couch cushions upside down or sprinting to your sock drawer, hang tight. I'm about to walk you through everything you need to know about this special 2017 penny that's turning heads in the coin collecting world. And don't worry, I'll make it fun, simple, and you might even get a laugh or two. First, what's the deal with the 2017 Lincoln penny? Most of them are worth face value. 1 cent, practically nothing. But every now and then, something magical happens at the Denver Mint. One of these pennies comes out just a little different. Not enough for the average person to notice. But for us coin nerds, it's enough to make us yell bingo and do a victory dance in the kitchen. Let me break it down. Coin collectors, or numismatists, if you want to impress your friends at parties, go crazy for mint errors and ultra-rare varieties. The 2017 penny that sold for $1.7 million had what we call a double die obverse. That means when the coin was stamped, the die shifted just enough to create a doubling effect on Lincoln's face and the lettering. It's like the coin version of seeing double after too many energy drinks. Add to that, the coin was in perfect condition. Graded a flawless MS-70 by a professional grading service. Mint State 70 is like the holy grail for coins. No scratches, no dings, no signs it was ever tossed in a pocket with a bunch of keys. Basically, it came out of the mint and never had to suffer the indignity of living in someone's ashtray. And here's the kicker. There are only a few known examples of this coin in such pristine shape. That rarity? That's what makes collectors lose their minds and open their wallets. Now, let me share a little story. A few years ago, I was at a gas station digging through the change the cashier handed me. You know that awkward moment when you don't want to hold up the line but also don't want to shove pennies in your pocket blind? Yeah, I was living it. I spotted a shiny penny that just looked different. The D mint mark popped out, and something about the font looked funky. Took it home, gave it a closer look under my trusty magnifying glass, and sure enough, it was an error coin. Now, it wasn't worth $1 million, but it fetched me a few $100. And let me tell you, that's the last time I rushed through checking my change. The point is, valuable coins are out there. Not just in museums or collector shows. In your junk drawer. In your glove box. In that weird kitchen bowl that holds pens, receipts, and at least one dead AA battery. Let's talk strategy. If you want to get serious about finding valuable coins like the 2017 D Lincoln penny, here's what you gotta do: learn to spot mint marks. The D stands for Denver, and it's located right below the date. Easy to miss if you're not looking for it. Know your errors. Double die, off-center strikes, and die cracks are all signs of possible value. Think of them as the birthmarks of rare coins. Invest in a magnifying glass. Not the kind you got in 3rd grade to fry ants. A real, coin grade one. Your eyes will thank you. Handle coins carefully. If you find something that looks promising, don't clean it. I repeat, do not clean it. You might think you're doing it a favor, but collectors want original surfaces, not a scrubbed-up Lincoln looking like he went through a car wash. And finally, step 5, get it graded. There are professional services like PCGS or NGC that can officially grade and authenticate your coin. That's how you get the big bucks. Now let's talk a little about market value. As of now, that specific 2017 D penny fetched a jaw-dropping $1.7 million at auction. Why? Because it checked all the boxes: rarity, perfect condition, and collector demand. The value of coins like this goes up with time and hype. So if you find one, you're not just holding onto a coin. You're holding onto a piece of history with a skyrocketing price tag. Even if you don't find that exact penny, there are still plenty of other valuable coins in circulation. Quarters, dimes, nickels. Coins that look ordinary until you give them a second glance. Remember, every valuable coin someone found was once thought to be just spare change. The 2017 D Lincoln penny that's worth $1.7 million. It's not just about money. It's about the thrill of the hunt. The idea that something so small and ordinary could actually be extraordinary. And you don't need a PhD in coinology to find one. You just need a sharp eye, a little patience, and maybe a flashlight if your eyesight's like mine. So next time someone gives you change, don't just shove it in your pocket. Take a second. Look at the date. Check the mint mark. Give that penny a little respect. It might just pay your mortgage. And hey, if you found today's video helpful or just entertaining, hit that subscribe button and join the community. I drop new videos all the time on coins worth serious money, hunting strategies, and stories from the trenches of coin collecting. The next millionaire might just be digging through their coin jar right now. Hey, what's up, coin enthusiasts? So, you ever found a penny on the ground and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that one penny, a specific 1984 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, could be worth a whopping $1.7 million? Yeah, you heard me right. $1.7 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. This guy's out of his mind. A penny? Worth $1 million? Well, buckle up, because I'm about to take you on a ride through the world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and some serious coin hunting strategy. You won't look at pennies the same way again. Before we dive into all that shiny, minty goodness, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more tips like these. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next one. Alright, let's get into it. The humble penny has been around since the 1700s, and it's probably the most common coin in your pocket or change jar. But every now and then, one of these bad boys pops up and surprises us all. The 1984 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of those surprises. Now, let me break this down for you. The 1984 penny itself isn't rare. There were over 7 billion of these babies made that year. So what makes this particular penny worth so much? It's all about a little mistake at the mint, a very rare, but important, one. You see, most pennies from 1984 have a mint mark, which tells you where the coin was made, either in Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. However, there are some very rare 1984 pennies that were struck with no mint mark at all. They were supposed to have a mint mark, but somehow, they slipped through the cracks. And this is where things get interesting. So, what makes these particular 1984 no mint mark pennies so valuable? Well, for one, they're incredibly rare. Out of the billions of pennies made in 1984, only a small handful were actually minted without the mark. We're talking a truly limited number of these coins still floating around out there. Coin collectors go nuts for errors like this, and they're willing to pay big money to get their hands on one. We're talking $1.7 million, which is more than most people will make in a lifetime. And remember, it's all because of a tiny mistake. It's like finding a golden ticket in a chocolate bar, except it's a penny, and instead of Willy Wonka, it's a lucky collector who gets to cash in. Let me tell you a little story about how I stumbled upon a rare coin myself. One day, I was digging through a jar of old coins I had inherited from my grandfather. It was like my personal little treasure chest, filled with pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. Nothing too fancy, just your regular everyday coins. I was just about to give up when, at the bottom of the jar, I spotted something that made me stop in my tracks. It was a 1955 penny, and I could immediately tell it was different. The coin had a very noticeable double die, a minting error where the design was stamped twice. I couldn't believe it. It was worth thousands of dollars, so, while I'm no expert, yet, it just goes to show that treasure can be hiding in the most unlikely places. And that brings me back to the 1984 no mint mark penny. These things are out there, and you never know when you might find one. If you come across a 1984 penny with no mint mark, you've hit the jackpot. But like anything in the world of rare coins, you've got to know how to identify them properly. Just looking at it isn't enough, you've got to know how to check for signs of the missing mint mark and what makes these coins stand out from the crowd. If you've got one of these rare pennies, get it appraised by a professional to make sure you don't miss out on that sweet $1.7 million price tag. Most of us won't find a coin that's worth millions of dollars just lying around. But don't let that discourage you. Coin hunting can be an incredibly rewarding hobby, and there are plenty of other coins out there worth big money, even if they're not quite as flashy as the 1984 no mint mark penny. If you've learned anything from this video, it's that rare coins can be hiding in plain sight. And hey, next time you find a penny on the ground, maybe you'll think twice before letting it slip away. It could be the start of your own treasure hunt. Make sure you're subscribed for more tips on how to spot valuable coins, strategies for building a killer collection, and stories of crazy coin discoveries. Who knows? You might just find your own goldmine. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll catch you in the next one. Happy hunting, coin lovers! Hey there, fellow treasure hunters and pocket change detectives. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked the date on a penny before tossing it into the jar on the dresser or letting it disappear into the couch cushions forever? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about one of those sneaky little copper coins that might just pay off your mortgage, buy you a new truck, and still leave you enough change to fill a pool with pennies. I'm talking about the 1964 Lincoln penny. Yeah, you heard me. That 1-cent piece you probably walked past or used to scratch off a lottery ticket could be worth up to $1.9 million today. And no, I haven't lost my marbles, although I've misplaced a few quarters in my time. So sit back, grab a drink, and let's dive deep into why this particular penny is blowing collectors' minds and how you can spot one before you accidentally spend it on a gumball. Alright, let's start with some basics. The 1964 D penny was minted in Denver. That little D below the date stands for the Denver Mint, where this particular batch of coins was produced. Over 3 billion of these pennies were struck that year, so you might be thinking, well, if there are billions out there, why the heck is one worth nearly $2 million? Great question. It's not just about the date or the mint mark. It's all about the juicy details. You see, the rare 1964 D Lincoln penny that's making headlines has a very special set of features that sets it apart from your everyday sidewalk penny. Some versions of this penny were struck with an error or flaw that occurred during the minting process. We're talking about things like a double die obverse. That's when the image on the front of the coin, good old Abe Lincoln himself, gets struck twice but slightly off. This causes a doubling effect in the lettering and even in Abe's face. There are also reports of extremely high-grade versions of this penny. I mean the kind that looks like it came out of the vending machine yesterday, even though it's been kicking around since the Beatles were on the radio and gas cost 25 cents. Now, the one that hit the $1.9 million mark was in absolutely pristine condition, and it featured that rare double die error. Combine those two things with a high demand among collectors and boom, you've got $1 million penny. Now let me tell you a little story. This was about 10 years ago. I was at a flea market, you know the kind, tables full of used tools, boxes of dusty records, mismatched socks, the whole deal. I'm digging through this plastic bin marked old coins, 10 cents each, and I come across a handful of Lincoln pennies. One of them was a 1964 D. I remember flipping it around, squinting at the mint mark, and thinking, I should probably hang on to this one. And you know what I did with it? I used it to buy a pack of gum at the gas station because I didn't want to break a 5. Let that sink in for a second. I might have spent a $1.9 million penny on spearmint gum. Now, of course, the odds are slim. I'm not saying every 1964 D is a golden ticket. Most are worth exactly 1 cent, maybe a few bucks if they're in great shape. But the rare ones, the ones with errors, high grades, and full luster, those are the real money makers. Make sure it's a 1964 with the D under the date. That means it was struck in Denver. Can you see all the little details in Abe's beard and the lettering? If it looks like it just came out of a coin roll yesterday, you might have something special. This one's tricky, but get a magnifying glass and check the date and the word Liberty. If the letters look like they're doubled or slightly shadowed, that's a strong sign. The big dogs in coin collecting send their coins off to grading companies like PCGS or NGC. They'll slap a number on it from 1 to 70. The higher the grade, the higher the value. That $1.9 million penny? It was graded MS 67 plus red. That means mint state with full red luster. This sounds like finding a needle in a haystack. But here's the deal. People are finding rare coins all the time. Sometimes in their junk drawers. Sometimes in rolls from the bank. And yes, even in parking lots. There's a guy out there who found a rare Lincoln penny while cleaning out his grandpa's coin jar and ended up selling it for over $100,000. Meanwhile, I'm still haunted by that pack of gum I bought with what could have been a game changer. So here's the big takeaway, folks. That little copper coin in your pocket might just be your ticket to a new life. It might be rare. It might be valuable. And it might be sitting in your house right now without you even knowing it. The 1964 D Lincoln penny is proof that treasure is still hiding in plain sight. So do yourself a favor. Check your change. Dig through those old jars. Go visit Grandma and see if she's got a shoebox full of coins in the attic, and if you want more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could change your life, hit that subscribe button right now. I've got tons of videos on how to find valuable coins, how to tell if yours is rare, and how not to spend $1 million penny on bubblegum. Don't forget to like the video and drop a comment below if you've ever found something amazing in your spare change. Hey, guys. Imagine this, you're going through your coin jar, minding your own business, when all of a sudden, you pull out a penny from 1968. You're like, it's just another old penny. But hold on. What if I told you that penny is worth a whopping $2 million? Yes, you heard that right. $2 million for a 1968 Lincoln penny. Now, before you go digging through every penny you own, let's take a deep dive into why this coin is so special, what makes it so valuable, and how you can start hunting for rare coins like this one. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot coins worth a small fortune hiding in plain sight. First off, it's not just any ordinary penny. It has something unique about its minting process that makes it an ultra-rare find. The story starts back in 1968 when the US Mint produced a batch of pennies with a certain mistake that turned out to be a huge win for collectors. You see, most of the pennies made in 1968 came from the Philadelphia Mint, but a small number came from the San Francisco Mint. Here's where it gets interesting. Some of these pennies, specifically the ones from the San Francisco Mint, were never supposed to be struck in the first place. They were mistakenly produced without a mint mark, which, for those of you who don't know, is the little letter, S for San Francisco, D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, on a coin that tells you where it was made. Now, how does a simple error like that turn a penny into a gold mine? Well, in the world of coin collecting, mint errors like this are huge. Why? Because they're rare, and rarity equals value. A penny without a mint mark was supposed to be impossible in 1968, but it happened. The scarcity factor kicks in, and these pennies became incredibly valuable to collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for a coin with such a unique story. Let's talk numbers. The current market value for one of these 1968 no mint mark Lincoln pennies is sitting around $2 million. Yes, $2 million. It's insane when you think about it. A penny that's over 50 years old, with a simple minting error, can fetch such a high price. It's the kind of thing that makes you want to go through every coin you've got laying around. Well, there's no magic to it, but there's definitely a process. First, you need to start looking through your collection, whether it's a jar full of loose change or a stack of pennies you've been holding onto for years. The trick is knowing exactly what to look for. You're hunting for that 1968 penny from the San Francisco Mint, and the key indicator is the absence of a mint mark. This is the big giveaway that the coin is valuable, but here's the thing, it's not just about the year or the mint mark, it's about the condition of the coin. Coin collectors, or numismatists as they like to call themselves, are super picky about the condition of the coins they buy. The more pristine the coin, the more money you can make. So, a 1968 penny with no mint mark in perfect condition is going to be worth a lot more than one that's been through the washing machine a few times. I had my own experience with this kind of coin hunt, and let me tell you, it was both hilarious and frustrating. I spent hours sifting through my old coin collection, excited at the prospect of finding a penny that could be worth millions. I had my magnifying glass ready, thinking I was about to discover a gold mine. After hours of searching, I finally found a 1968 penny, but guess what? It wasn't the rare 1968 without the mint mark, it was just a regular penny. And honestly, I was a little bit bummed out. But then I thought, hey, it's part of the fun, right? Coin collecting isn't just about the big payoff, it's about the thrill of the hunt, the joy of finding something cool, even if it's not worth millions. But I didn't give up. I kept going. And that's the key to this whole coin collecting game, persistence. Keep searching, keep learning, and eventually, you'll get your hands on something truly valuable. So, now that you know the basics about the 1968 no mint mark penny, let's talk about how to maximize your chances of finding one of these rare coins. The first step is doing your homework. Get familiar with the different varieties of pennies, and stay on the lookout for any signs of a minting error. There are plenty of resources online where you can check the value of your coins and learn more about what makes a coin valuable. Second, don't underestimate the power of auctions and coin dealers. Sometimes, the best finds happen when you least expect them. I've heard stories of people picking up rare coins at estate sales or online auctions for a fraction of their actual value. If you've got a local coin shop nearby, definitely stop by and see what they have in stock. You never know what you might find. And third, be patient. Rare coins like the 1968 no mint mark penny don't just show up overnight. You've got to put in the time, research, and maybe a little bit of luck. How the 1968 no mint mark penny became a $2 million coin, how you can spot it, and how you can start your own coin collecting journey. But here's the thing, finding rare coins isn't just about luck, it's about knowing what to look for, being persistent, and enjoying the process. The thrill of discovery is what makes coin collecting so much fun. If you want more tips on finding coins worth money, strategies for hunting down rare treasures, and all the insider info on valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next big coin discovery. So, what are you waiting for? Start going through your coins, get that magnifying glass out, and remember, the next penny you find could be worth millions. Alright, guys, buckle up because I've got a coin story that's probably going to make you look at your pocket change in a whole new light. You ever find a penny, pick it up, and just toss it aside because, let's be real, it's only a penny, right? Well, let me stop you right there. That same penny could be worth a whopping $2.1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A penny. Now, before you go dumping all your loose change into a bucket, hold on a second, this isn't just any penny. Today, we're diving into the 2014 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and trust me, this one is a game changer, but don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of dry facts. I'll keep it casual, funny, and relatable. And who knows, you might just walk away with a whole new approach to your coin collection, or maybe even a lucky find in your pocket. So grab that coffee, kick back, and let's jump right into the world of valuable pennies. Alright, let's start with the basics. You've probably seen the 2014 Abraham Lincoln penny before. It's got that iconic image of Lincoln on one side, and the Lincoln Memorial on the other. Looks like a regular penny, doesn't it? And that's the thing with coins, they can be hiding in plain sight, just waiting to surprise you. But the kicker here is that the 2014 no mint mark penny doesn't have a mint mark. Normally, pennies are marked with a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But this one? It's got nothing. So, what's the big deal? Well, back in 2014, a few of these pennies were accidentally produced at the Philadelphia Mint without the usual mint mark. And as you can imagine, once collectors realized these were out there, it became a huge deal. These rare coins have turned into a sought-after treasure, and now they're worth a cool $2.1 million. You're probably thinking, wait, how in the world is a penny worth so much? And that's exactly what I thought when I first heard about it. I used to just toss my loose change into a jar. In fact, I had a huge jar of coins collecting dust in my closet for years. Then, one day, I was watching a YouTube video, just like the one you're watching right now, about rare coins. And the guy in the video mentioned this 2014 no mint mark penny. I couldn't believe it. My jaw literally hit the floor. I rushed over to my jar of change and started flipping through pennies like a maniac. I'm talking sweaty palms, the whole works. But of course, I didn't find the $2.1 million penny. I didn't even find a 2014 penny, for that matter. But it got me thinking, what if there was a valuable penny in that jar? What if I had missed a golden opportunity? Now, here's where things get a little interesting. If you happen to have one of these 2014 no-mint mark pennies in your pocket change or in your collection, you could be sitting on a small fortune. These coins are extremely rare, and the market value has been rising steadily as more and more collectors realize just how special they are. But finding one isn't as simple as looking for a shiny penny at the bottom of your couch cushions. These coins are rare, and only a small number of them were minted, which is exactly why they've become so valuable. You might be wondering, how can I tell if I've got one of these rare pennies? Good question. First off, you'll want to make sure that the penny is from 2014. This is important because, even though other years have also seen no mint mark coins, this one's particularly rare. Then, check the back of the penny. No mint mark means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which doesn't typically stamp a mark. So if you've got a 2014 penny with nothing but Lincoln and the memorial on the back, you've got a potential treasure on your hands. Well, lucky for you, there's a whole market of coin collectors out there willing to pay big bucks for these rare finds. You can either list it online through auctions or reach out to a reputable coin dealer. But be careful. Not every coin dealer is created equal. Do your research, and make sure you're getting a fair price. The cool thing is that the value of these coins has been steadily increasing. Back when these first popped up, they were going for about $200,000, which, let's be honest, is still a pretty sweet payday. But now? We're talking $2.1 million. That's a major jump. And it's not just about the money. It's about the thrill of discovery. Imagine going through your old change and pulling out a coin that could literally change your life. But hold up, this isn't just about making a quick buck. I want to encourage you to think long-term with your coin collection. Maybe you're just starting out, or maybe you've been collecting for years. Either way, it's important to understand that the world of rare coins is vast and filled with hidden gems. And just like I mentioned earlier, I almost missed my chance because I wasn't paying attention. But now I'm a lot more careful with every penny that crosses my path. If you've got a 2014 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, it's worth more than just a few cents. It could be worth $2.1 million. But even if you don't find that elusive penny, don't be discouraged. There are countless other rare coins out there, and who knows, your next big find could be just around the corner. Now, here's where I need your help. If you found this video helpful, or if you're excited to start hunting for rare coins like I did, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll be sharing even more tips on how to spot coins worth a lot of money, and trust me, you don't want to miss out on future coin hunts. Plus, you'll get some good laughs along the way, because we all know finding rare coins is way more fun when you can laugh about it. So go ahead, subscribe, and let's start this treasure hunt together. Who knows? The next penny you pick up could be the one that makes you a millionaire.